Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. This is Faiz Ali. If you are new on my channel, please subscribe the channel. Welcome to my next presentation on chapter number 2, Information Network. These are the number of contents that are included in the second chapter. Previously, we have studied these number of contents, and today we will study components of a network in detail. At first, we will discuss LAN. LAN is Local Area Network. Here we have a diagram that shows the infrastructure of a LAN, in which you can note that multiple workstations and the computer systems all are connected to one another and creating the environment of a network, and they can communicate to one another and can share information. And the question is how the communication is possible and how they are communicate to one another, which medium they use. For that, please note all networks need some system for interconnection. In some LANs, a shared network cable connects the node. Please note that interconnection is developed in the network. For that, we have need of a cable that connect the nodes. Nodes are basically your computer systems. So in any interconnection, we have a need of a cable that create the connection between the different computer systems. There are multiple of cables that we use in the network. Low cost LANs are connected with twisted pair wire. Twisted pair wire are the cheapest wires that are easily available, and we can communicate through the twisted pair. But many LANs use coaxial cable or fiber optic cable, which are both more expensive and faster. These cables create a faster speed and transmission rate to communicate to one another. Nowadays, some LANs are wireless, using infrared or radio wave transmissions instead of cables. So now we don't have need of the cables, we can communicate through the infrared or radio waves. Wireless networks are easy to set up and reconfigure since there are no cables to connect the devices, but they have slower transmission rate and limit the distance between nodes. Nowadays, living in the technological era, the transmission rate is high and we are not limiting the distance between different computer systems. Our wireless system is very advanced and we can communicate to one another easily, efficiently and effectively. Now we will discuss the components of a LAN. There are three components of a LAN. The first one is NIC, the second one is gateway, and the third one is router. We will discuss all these components one by one. The first one is NIC. NIC stands for Network Interface Card, and it is the circuit board that fits in one of the computer's internal expansion slots. Some computers have built-in NIC. So through the NIC card, we connect our computer systems to the internet, that basically creating the environment of a communication where we can communicate to one another. Similarly, networks can be connected by bridges. Now the question is, what is the role of the bridges? Bridges basically passes the messages on the required addresses. So in the network, when we have the bridges identify the addresses and deliver our messages to the required person where we want to send. The next component is a gateway. Gateway is a collection of hardware and software resources that lets a node communicate with a computer on another network. Gateway is the advanced technology which has the collection of hardware and software resources that made the communication is possible effectively, efficiently. So gateway is a very helpful tool that made communication easily possible. The next is router. Router is the latest technology. It is a device that keeps track of all possible routes from source to the destination that a message can follow to be delivered to the destination. So now you can note that router is playing a very important role. It identifies the address, and then send the information to the required destination. So the messages is delivered to the destination effectively and efficiently. All these components are helping to create a local area network to communicate to one another, and they can share information. So these components play a very important role for the local area network. After a detailed discussion on the components of a local area network, now students, we will see what are LAN's protocols. Here we have a question is, what are protocols? Network have certain rules to send and receive data is called protocols. It means every network has its own rules and regulations that have to be followed in the network. These are defined in the network software. All these rules and regulations are predefined in the software. We have some common protocols are as Ethernet, Token Ring, ARPANET, TCP and IP, ISDN and DSL. Now we will discuss all these protocols one by one. First protocol is Ethernet. This is the most commonly used protocol. It uses high-speed network cable and bus topology. As you can see in the diagram, all the nodes and the computer systems are attached in a series. Since all nodes use the same cable to send and receive data, they must follow a set of rules about when to communicate, otherwise two or more computers could transmit at the same time, causing lost messages. For example, if a computer system send his information to the computer number C. So it means when they want to send the information, both other computers have to wait. If they will not wait, then the data will be lost. Before transmitting the data, a node listens to find out if the cable is in use. If the node must wait when the cable is free from other transmission, the node can begin transmitting immediately. This process is also known as CSMA/CD, carrier sense multiple access with collision detection. It means if two systems will send their data at the same time, then the CSMA/CD will detect the issue and will resolve to transfer the data. Second protocol is Token Ring. It basically resolves the issue of the Ethernet bus, in which two computer systems cannot transfer data at the same time. So here in the Token Ring, it is closely associated with IBM, works on the concept of ring topology. As you can note from the name, that is ring topology, all the computer systems are connected in a circle that make the form of a ring. A token is an electronical signal. So the method of controlling access to the shared network's cable is called token passing. So every signal that is passed from the token, it is controlled by through the token passing, and only one token is available in a network. When a node wants to transmit data, first it captures the token and then transmit data. After the transmission, it releases the token back to the other network. So through this way, the data is transferred from one system to the other systems. As one token is available to network and the one node with token can transmit data at a time. Therefore, the transmission rate of token ring is very slow and there is no data collision. In the token ring, we have resolved the issue of the collision, but it is slower than the Ethernet bus. Next protocol is ARPANET, that resolves the issue of the token ring, in which data transmission rate is slow. ARPANET stands for Attached Resource Computer Network, and the device of the ARPANET is look like this. It was introduced in 1977 and it has both topologies. Both topology means ring topology and the bus topology, and networking technology all its own. It uses either twisted pair or coaxial cable, and the star topology is informed with hubs attached to the network. So in the ARPANET, we are using the star topology. Original ARCnet was very slow, but it became popular because it was inexpensive, reliable, easy to set up and easy to expand. Fast ARCnet increased the transmission rate to 100 Mbps and it can also use fiber optic cables. So later the ARCnet devices has increased their transmission rate and resolved the issue of the token ring. The next protocol is TCP/IP. This protocol is introduced with the new rules and regulations to establish a better networking system. The TCP/IP stands for Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol. From the name you can note that the rules are set for transmitting data and for the internet quality. It is the protocol used by every computer and it must configure on the internet. A protocol is a set of rules and procedures that defines how computers receive and transmit data over the network. As you can note, a hierarchy is established and for this hierarchy a new rules and regulations are introduced to receive and transmit data. TCP/IP ensures a reliable connection between the computers communicating over the internet. It also defines a mechanism through which every computer on the internet is identified separately. TCP/IP software differs for the different computers, but it always presents the same interface to the network. It doesn't matter if the system on the end is a supercomputer, a mainframe mini computer or microcomputer, as long as it is using TCP/IP. So in these rules and regulations, the interface is same for all the networks, but it varies the hierarchy according to the availability of the computer systems. Next protocols are ISDN. These are the latest and advanced technology which has the very advanced protocols. ISDN stands for Integrated Series Digital Network. ISDN is a set of international communication standards for software control of transmitting voice, video and data simultaneously as digital signals over twisted pair telephone lines. So in the ISDN we can communicate simultaneously. We don't need to wait to process the one data. As you can see in the diagram, the ISDN adapters are used to transmit data simultaneously. Basic rate ISDN provides better quality than analog connections and more reliable digital connections at higher speed than those offered by analog connections. So now our technology is shifted to digital connections and our transmission of converting data from analog to digital is very fast because of the availability of the ISDN devices. In the last we have DSL protocols, and this is very latest technology that we are using nowadays. The device of the DSL is looking like this, and the DSL stands for Digital Subscriber Line. DSL provide high-speed digital data transmission from homes and business over existing telephone lines. The existing lines are analog and the transmission is digital. Dear students, please note one thing, and the thing is that we are using the existing telephone lines in the DSL, and the existing lines are in the form of analog and the transmission is in the form of digital. So please note here that in the DSL technology we are using the existing telephone lines in which existing lines are in analog form and the transmission is in digital format. So the modems are necessary with DSL technology, and this is the advanced version and improved version of the existing telephone lines. DSL is a popular alternative to ISDN because in the ISDN we have high data transmission rate, and now we have the highest transmission rate in the DSL technology. So it is very effective way of communication, so we are using DSL nowadays. Dear students, Now we will summarize our lecture as today we have studied components of LANs in detail, in which we have studied NIC, bridge, gateway and router. All these components are very important and we have seen that how they are helping us out to establish a network. And then we have studied the LANs protocol, in which we have studied different rules and procedures of the internet communication like Ethernet, token ring, ARPANET, TCP IP, ISDN and DSL. We have studied that how we are facing problems at the start, and then we have covered one by one and then reached to the DSL technology, in which we are discussing information and we are transferring the information from one end to the another end, and we are now communicating very effectively and fastly. Thank you for watching my video. If you like my video, please click on the like button and hit the subscribe button.